Welcome to another episode of A Taste of RPGs, a show from the Ann Arbor District Library in Michigan that brings you a wide range of different RPGs and gives you a little taste of them. This time, I'm so excited we're playing The Quiet Year, and we're here today with Marissa and Audrey and our special guest, Lauren. So let's kick things off. I'm going to just talk about the rules and then we'll start with our first turn. So The Quiet Year is a map drawing game, and on your turn you're going to be drawing one card and you will be doing the action on the card, and then you will be advancing any projects that are on the map, and you'll also be taking an action. We're going to talk about all of those in a few minutes. But to start, we have a blank map in front of us, and we need to decide on a rough location for our game. It could be anything. It could be a space station, it could be the desert, it could be the interior of a building, it could be a coastal region, anything that we would like. The general setting of the game is that we have been at war with the jackals for a long time. This is basically a post-apocalyptic setting, and we know we have 1 year before the frost shepherds show up. So this is our year to try to resolve some problems and to prepare for what's coming at the end of the year. All right. Does anyone have any ideas for a setting? Could be anything.
For some reason, I have a beach in my head.
Sure. Love it.
That sounds great.
Let's do it.
So we can each draw one feature of this area that we're going to be playing on. And I have a sample here. You can see this was a finished game. So the things that we're going to be drawing. Thank you. So this is from a former game. So the things we're going to be drawing are, about an inch to less than an inch in size, because we're going to be adding a lot to the map. Mm-hmm. Okay. Lauren, since you had the idea of a beach, do you want to draw an outline?
Slap the beach on.
Okay.
That's
sure.
right.
Sure, okay.
Where does your heart want the beach to go?
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is a very much a collaborative game, so everything is fine. There are no mistakes.
Okay, great. I'm going to start with the shoreline.
Perfect. Do you want to draw one feature?
Yeah, can I continue? Okay.
Yep. We're all going to draw one feature onto the map.
That's supposed to be cliffs.
I was going to say, are those cliffs?
Right.
Neat.
Who's next?
Just go round robin. All
Yeah,
right,
do it.
That's a jetty.
Excellent.
Oh, great.
Wait, which side? So this side is the water?
No, the other side is.
My bad. Should I move it?
Sure. That's totally fine.
I was like, oh.
There's also a crack in the middle of the table. I've tried to put some heavy paper down, so just be aware of that. Perfect.
Awesome.
Starting off rough.
It's a big, creepy, dead tree.
Awesome.
Right.
All right, I'm going to draw a lighthouse. Great. We've all drawn a feature onto the map, and now we need to talk about general resources. So we're each going to pick a resource and decide, well, let's just start with each picking a resource. It could be anything at all. It could even be metaphorical or intangible. All right?
Is this like a resource that the community gets to use, or?
Sorry, thanks for
Okay.
asking. It's a resource that is somehow important.
Okay.
And then we're going to decide on what's scarce and what's in abundance.
Okay.
I'll start. Let's say that wood is a resource that is going to play a role in our community.
I choose goats.
Great. I like goats.
Okay. I was thinking sheep, so okay.
That's okay.
We've got wood. We've got goats. Farmland, just like land,
Perfect.
good growing land.
Great.
Okay. You said it could be intangible too, right?
That's right.
Are you gonna pick love?
I was gonna pick friendship, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, I mean, let's go with love.
All right. Now we've got love, arable land, we have goats, and we have wood. One of these is going to be in abundance,
Okay.
and the rest will be scarce.
Okay. Ooh. I mean, I feel like land is obviously scarce because like half our map is water already,
Mm-hmm.
and also
there's
cliffs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And this dead tree doesn't look great for the arable land
Like
situation.
good land. It's
I
just
agree.
a tiny bit.
So which one should we have in abundance?
I'm leaning
Love.
toward goats.
I do think it would be really funny if this place was overrun with goats. Yeah.
So I've got a piece of paper here that lists what we have in abundance and what we have a scarcity of, and there's a third column for names in case any named characters get introduced. Let me tell you a little bit about who you are. You are playing this game, but we are really emphasizing a top-down bird's eye view of this community, which has between 60 and 80 people in it. So we are all collaboratively telling a story, and we are going to be representing the struggles and the parts of a community that are sometimes broken. So you are not representing a faction, you are not representing an individual, but you are telling a story of a community. If you think of our town, there are certain hot button issues, and those issues cause grief and strife between the people of the town. If at any time something happens in the game that you feel causes internal difficulty for people, you can take a contempt token. That token represents some kind of internal struggle. It doesn't play a role in the storytelling of the game. It doesn't have a mechanic that plays a part in the game. Its only role is to identify internal struggle where people are unsatisfied. Theoretically, you could even take a contempt token for an action that you have just done as a player. Okay? All right. So we have our initial resources, and we have our abundance and our scarcity identified. We've got our initial features. Let me tell you a little bit about the deck. The deck is divided into 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter. And the deck will tell you to do something. Sometimes there's a choice. It's wholly up to you what to do. We're going to try to draw as much as we can on the map using as few words as possible. You can use symbols if you prefer, but the idea is to create a map together and tell a story. Once you've done what the card asks you to do, we will advance any projects by changing a die from a higher number to a lower number. We'll reduce the pips on a die, and then you'll have an option to take an action. You can do one of three things. You can start a discussion, you can start a new project, or you can discover something new. If you discover something new, you're going to draw some new feature or some discovery on the map. We don't know what it is. It could be footprints, it could be a building, it could be an abandoned bus, it could be anything. If you want to start a discussion, you can ask a question, and each of us will have one chance to respond briefly. If you'd like to start a project, you will say, I think we need a way to grow more wood, for example. I don't know what that would be. Maybe we want to build a greenhouse, and so we will then collectively decide how many weeks it will take to build a greenhouse, keeping in mind our level of expertise and how many people we have in town. And then we will set a die for how many weeks it takes and reduce that each turn until it's completed. Does that make sense? Do you guys have any questions at all?
I think I'm ready to get into it.
Yeah. Not
Awesome.
yet.
Okay. Thanks for bearing with me with those the rules and the introduction. I'll read one paragraph and then we're off. For a long time, we were at war with the jackals. Now finally, we've driven them off and we're left with this, a year of relative peace. One quiet year with which to build our community up and learn again how to work together. Come winter, the frost shepherds will arrive and we might not survive the encounter. This is when the game will end, but we don't know about that yet. What we know is that right now, in this moment, there is an opportunity to build something.
Someone tries to take control of the community by force. Do they succeed, and why do they do this? Or a headstrong community member decides to put one of their ideas in motion, start a foolish project.
I feel like we've had our share of foolish projects already.
Right.
What's one more?
True. But we never really knew what Craig was up to.
Mm-hmm.
I think Craig is definitely trying to take control.
Yep. I got those vibes from Craig.
He does try some force. It's not really successful because his force is just he shines the light on everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's controlling the lighthouse and he just shines it down on us.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really succeed. And why does he do this? Seems like he's just a little cuckoo.
Yeah.
He's been rambling about some other people coming. He's been graffitiing the outside of his tower.
Yeah.
It's just gone a little crazy in their isolation.
Yeah.
I do not know how to draw that.
Just beam the light down
beam
into
the
the
light
dancing
down,
folks.
yeah. There you go. There you go.
Yeah. And I want to start a project. I want to try to intentionally cultivate these flowers or research their poisonous properties.
Mm-hmm.
There might be some medicinal properties that we haven't figured out yet.
Mm.
And I feel like that could take a minute also because we're not very smart. I want to say 5 weeks just to
Okay.
make sure that they're growing and
That sounds
doing
good.
their thing.
5 weeks for research and development.
Yeah, R&D.
Cool.
Okay. Introduce a mystery at the edge of the map. Or an unattended situation becomes problematic and scary. What is it? How does it go awry? I can't resist a good mystery. So I think all the way at the edge of the coast, someone does go exploring and they find a cave that leads to like a long tunnel, and they don't go all the way down in it. So there's this mysterious cave with a tunnel at the edge of the map. Spooky. And then, and I would like to start a discussion. And my question is, what are we going to do about Craig?
Yeah.
I have strong feelings about Craig. I think that he's a bad influence and he's a volatile element in our community. And I think we need to do something. I do not think he should be in the lighthouse.
I concur. I mean, Craig is really annoying at the very least. So we should, I mean, shining lights in our eyes is uncalled for, and we should at least try to reason with him. We've not been able to, go up to the lighthouse. We haven't really been interested up till now, but I think we should go.
He did fix this one.
Yeah, we should definitely try to break in, just by force. He's probably got secrets in there. What is he eating? He's in a tower all alone. We got to get in there.
Right.
Yeah, I think that he did fix the lighthouse, so who knows what else he fixed in there. So there could be some good stuff in there that he's just sitting on and we don't have access to. That really belongs to us because it was ours before he showed up, and we never gave it to him. So we'll just be taking back what's ours.
I love it.
All right. Outsiders arrive in the area. Why are they a threat? How are they vulnerable? Or outsiders arrive in the area. How many? How are they greeted?
Okay, was Craig right?
Well, outsiders do arrive in the area, and it looks like a scouting party of about 5, and they're not greeted well because we have a very suspicious population, a very suspicious group of community members. And that's what happens.
Came by sea, that is suspicious.
So I drew a little pirate boat. We don't really know what they are, but they weren't greeted well, and they were turned back.
Oh.
And you switch the die.
Yeah, I switched the die.
Great. We have so many pressing issues here. My goodness. I'm getting more and more, well, let me start a project. And my project will be to deal with Craig, whatever that means. I think the first thing is to storm the lighthouse. And I think it's only going to take 1 week.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, he's one
Yeah.
guy.
Yep.
Just for fun, I'm going to take a contentious token.
Yes.
Because he did predict outsiders coming.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he is a wizard. And now I fear Craig.
Oh, man.
And I think that's it.
Okay. You discover a cache of supplies or resources. Add a new abundance. Or a scarcity has gone unaddressed for too long. Start a project that will alleviate that scarcity. I think that given how the outsiders were received, it's clear that our scarcity of love needs to be addressed, and we need to cultivate more love in our community. So, we're going to start a weaving project. We're going to start a community remembrance quilt, and we'll weave the seagrass that's on the shoreline into a beautiful quilt. And it seems like many people, not everyone in the community, are really into this, and it's causing them to reflect on how we treat outsiders.
Is it a good time to deal with Craig?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So in the midst of the community weaving, there is a brigade that storms the lighthouse. It is completely unclear in the chaos what happened, but Craig is now dead.
Craig!
Oh no.
We don't, there was a
our wizard.
very chaotic
Yeah.
Tight quarters.
event. Yeah, we don't even know how it happened, but he's dead now.
Mm.
Who would want Craig dead?
Everyone.
It's gonna take a little.
Do you want to?
It didn't go as planned.
It didn't go as planned. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The frost shepherds arrive. The game is over.
Do.
And that is a taste of the quiet year.
Wow.
So, any thoughts? Did you guys enjoy that?
That's it.
I know. I kind of thought there would be like another round to like wrap things up.
I really loved how freewheeling this was. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
crazy.
And it definitely, I loved how just reactive we had to be to one another. And it really showed me man, I need to be better about coming up with names of people. What? Craig? But okay, we loved Craig. I mean,
Yeah.
or maybe not. But I liked it. I liked how we had to kind of build on one another. And there was a fair amount of options that you could have when it came to your turn to sort of either further stories that were already going, or tie up loose ends, or just start something totally new. And it did feel totally freeform almost throughout. I mean, and I loved that.
Yeah. I feel like it gave me a weird appreciation for city governments, because there was after a certain the beginning was a little slow, but then after a certain point there was so much going on, and it was so hard to follow up with something consistently. See Craig's body sitting on the dock for over 4 weeks
Yep.
or something. So it kind of, and it I feel like the game did a really good job of showing how people just aren't gonna disagree all the time. I don't know. I mean, obviously we took opinions that I don't think in real life we would be eat the toxic sludge.
Yeah, I like the contention tokens just because
Yeah.
it can force you to take an opposite opinion,
Yeah.
which
just-
I think is neat.
Yeah, it's a nice way of being there's disagreement in the community around that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's interesting because there's no mechanic for it, but seeing them kind of pile up
Yeah.
still added something.
Yeah.
I think it's like a community. There's no exact result of contention in a town or a community,
Yeah.
but it's still there, and it still impacts people's personal lives, even though it may not change a vote or change anything necessarily. And some people don't play with contention markers, and we didn't really use them the last time we played, but I really like them.
Yeah.
I think they're really fun.
Yeah.
It was
So-
there was something fun about just making eye contact with the
Yep.
person talking as
Yeah.
you pull the thing out of the bag.
Yeah,
and
sure.
being
Hey. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this game could go any number of ways.
Oh
It's
my
just like
gosh,
it's
yeah.
so amazing and interesting to me, like how I don't know, we didn't really wield this side of things, but at the beginning, we talked about resources that could be tangible or not. And so like what is an intangible resource? Well, love, and like we didn't really didn't go anywhere in this particular game quite, but
Yeah.
like I wonder about like what it would feel like in a game situation when we really are trying harder to bring in that dimension of it. What would that even look like?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But yeah, the chaos of being a community was front and center for me.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. Or even how that would have gone if love had been what we had in abundance.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
like there's all these other people that like you could meet or have friendly interactions with, and we kind of were like,
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to say, I wonder if like, because like love being a scarcity kind of did define the way that we
Yeah.
acted in the game a little bit.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
There were a lot of times where we could have picked like more positive
Yeah.
like options and we didn't, because
Yeah.
it didn't really feel like that was what to me it didn't really seem like what was most interesting for community, or kind of like who our community was after a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Right. And some people take this map and then launch a whole RPG campaign from it.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
Wow.
it can be a launching point, but I think it's a great, fascinating storytelling game.
it's yeah, it was super fun.
yeah.
For sure.
Right. So what do we have coming up next?
Fiasco.
Right. Of course, we will
Yep.
finally get to that.
Yep, that's right.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode of A Taste of RPGs. We want to thank our special guest, Lauren, and we will be back next time. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.